Hi and welcome to another video. It is currently coronavirus lockdown here in the UK, so yeah, I shall be churning out the videos as and when I can, since I have a lot more spare time on my hands. So I picked this one up off eBay. This is a 7-inch digital photo frame. I've always been curious about these, whether or not they're worth having. You know, what's the sort of power usage going to be if you're leaving it on all the time. But anyway, this one came from eBay. Not very much money, I can't remember off the top of my head, but I'll add that in text there. Sold as faulty, apparently does not read memory cards. So I've got a memory card here, I've chucked a few photos on there. We'll get it out of the box, have a look, try it and verify that it definitely doesn't work, and then see if we can do some repairs on it. So what do we get in the box itself then? We have a power cable there, power adapter, 10 volts, 1.5 amps. We have a little plastic stand, and then we have the main unit here along with a small instruction manual there. So let's get this one out of the box, out of its packaging, and see what we've got. So I haven't had a look at this yet. It's just been sat in the box for a week or so that since it arrived. So this is the main unit itself. So I'm guessing there's no sort of battery power as such in this. I'm guessing it has to be powered off the mains all the time. Power on, off. Annoyingly, it uses one of those much smaller power adapters, so you need to make sure you don't lose the original adapter that it came with. So I'll just grab myself an extension lead and plug this power pack in, and we will connect it up and see if it does anything. So power off. That's plugged in. Let's turn it on. Screen's not very bright at all. Just says digital photo frame, no card. Okay, let's turn it off and put this card in. I think this way. Right, that's in the slot. Let's turn it back on again. Waiting. Bad card, it says. Okay, so not, yeah, they did say didn't read the cards, but why does it say bad card? We've got anything in the menu? Menu not allowed. Nothing. So yeah, it's coming up with bad card. Now I don't know if this requires a certain format, or if it just recognises any format you put on there. Waiting, bad card. So it could be dirty terminals, that is a possibility, or it could be something a lot more serious. I'm hoping I can fix it anyway, just out of interest. So we'll get a screwdriver and we'll pop these screws out and take a look inside. Okay, so let's start by removing the various screws that are on this. Might need to use a better screwdriver. So it looks like we've got 6 screws all together holding this one. Let's have a look. Yeah, let me grab a better screwdriver and get those last 2 out. Better screwdriver has been acquired, and we will whip those last 2 out. So yes, say 6 screws holding it together. Right, that's all the screws out, so we should now be able to get inside. Okay, oh that's easy then. That just simply lifts straight off. So we've got ribbon cable here for the screen and connector for the backlight. So I think this backlight, is that a high voltage driver? Yeah, it is. So let's see if we can get these disconnected here. I always find they never ever leave enough room on these sort of things to actually get your fingers in and remove these things. Right. I don't want to break it, but there's very, very little room to actually get anything actually in here. This is ridiculous. Right, I'm struggling a lot with that connector. I'm going to try and get the LCD one out and then hopefully we can tip the screen over. So, a couple little tabs to push down. Right, that's that out of the way. And now hopefully you can get this this high voltage connector out here, which doesn't want to play ball. Well, that was in tough, wasn't it? Now, before we dive any deeper, I would just like to say a big thank you to PCBWay for sponsoring this video. If you need some boards for your next project, check out PCBWay. PCBWay offer a high quality manufacturing service from standard prototype boards to flex rigid PCBs and even assembly. Why not take advantage of their $5 welcome voucher and get your first prototype boards free? Already have an open source PCB design? Join their shared projects area where you can list your design for sale and PCBWay will donate 10% of the PCB cost to you as a way of saying thank you for your contribution to the open source community. Links are in the description below. So what have we got then? LCD, yep, cold cathode fluorescent lamp. That's probably why it's quite dim then. I wonder if this could be converted to run on LED if you wanted it to run. That would probably reduce the power consumption down a bit as well, I would have thought. So we got our separate board here with all our buttons on it. This would be our high voltage supply for the backlight, and then we just got a main PCB here. Initially I can't see anything particularly obvious, so we'll get this board out and have a look at what's on the other side. Now these screws are different, so I will keep those screws separate. Now have they got one hidden in that corner? Yes, I think they have, underneath this big bit of foam, and take that screw out there. Okay, so it should give us access to the board, which it does. Soren, is that FPGA? Let's get these connectors out if we can, and hopefully we can have a closer look and possibly, it could be a bad solder joint on something, or it could just be that it's just got really dirty, you know. So there we are. So let's just say button board and driver board there for the high voltage for the backlight. So let's zoom down, have a closer look at the board. Okay, so I've had a little look around. We got some flash memory here. We got this device, which is by PO Intech. It's PT480116HG. I can't really find any information about that one online, unfortunately, so I don't quite know what that device is doing. And then on the front, we've got this Zoron device, which I thought it might have been an FPGA, but it's not. It's basically their 9th generation IC product for entry-level consumer DVD players. So yeah, full front-end controller, RF amplifier stage, back-end decoder functions, and MPEG-4 DivX memory cards and integrated audio DACs. So yeah, quite a sort of beefy chip to put in just a tiny little photo frame. Having another look around, it's very how you doing this thing. I mean, look at this connector. It's off at an angle, and it's actually got a couple passive components underneath it, and then they've just kind of bodged a connector on top. There's a capacitor here. It's got a small little blob of solder on it, so that's not great. So this is obviously a very built down to a price, cheap product. It's probably going back a while as well, I would imagine. Is there any date codes? Can't see any date codes on that chip. Let's have a look at these other two. 32nd week 07, yeah, so this is quite an old device, back from 2007. So yeah, I think basically looking over it, there doesn't seem to be anything majorly obvious. We do have some sort of miscellaneous connectors. We've got a connector here that doesn't seem to go anywhere. And then we've got obviously this connector here going out to drive the backlight, which certainly seems a bit of a sort of afterthought connector, that one there. Yeah, so nothing, there's a lot of caps on here, a lot of caps. And I, for one, definitely do not want to go around replace them all. There's another little transistor there that's been put in at a really wonky angle. Yeah, who was this made by? Amateurs? It's terrible. But yeah, a lot of caps. I'm not going to go around and try and test or replace them all because I just don't think it's worth it, to be honest with you. I'd like to get it working, but yeah, I'm just going to have a closer visual inspection, and I think what we're going to do is get some IPA, which is becoming very expensive at the moment, and we'll give this socket a clean, and then we can just see if it will read the card after cleaning out the socket. Alright, so I've had a good look round. I can't see anything obvious at all. Everything looks hunky-dory, well, except for all being a bit wonky. There are a couple resistors up here which seem to be bridged together at the top, but I don't believe that that will be the issue, because I'm sure this device was working before and got sold because it stopped working. So we will get some of this gold dust, also known as isopropanol alcohol, and I'm going to see if we can get some of that down here. Don't think it's going to drip down very easily. Let's put some in a little cup there, put it in the lid, and I just want to try and get some down into that card slot and see if it will. Yeah, I'm not really happy with that. That's not going to drip in, is it? So we will just pour it in there. It's not a problem. It will evaporate off quite quickly. And pour that in there, and then put the card in and out a few times. And we'll just do that a few times so that it gets a good soaking. And then if there is any corrosion or sort of dirt build up on that, hopefully that will clear it out. There's certainly a lot going on this board, like I say, especially having that massive IC there designed for DVD players, not these sort of things, but I guess it works. So short of this, I think the idea will be to just do a little bit of Googling and see if there's any other reports of this happening, and hopefully there might be some information out there, because there's absolutely no point spending hours and hours trying to fault find something if somebody's already told you how to do it. Saves a lot of time, and this is only a very cheap, rubbishy thing. It's not worth paying out a sort of not paying out money, but yeah, spending a long time on it, trying to fault find it. Right, so we're going to reconnect that while this evaporates off. So we need this connector in here. Well, actually we don't, do we? I don't think we do. No, that's just for buttons. We'll get rid of that one. We just want this one for the screen, for the backlight. Like so. How did that go in? Yeah, it was like that, wasn't it? And then the and we just need to get this screen and backlight cable connected. No, I didn't actually remember which way that came out, but I think it will only go in one way, so we should be okay. Like so. And then we just got to try and get this ribbon cable back in, which could be a pain in the neck because they don't give you enough room to. I don't know why things are designed like this. I mean, there's plenty of opportunity to actually allow for, you know, more slack to get the thing in there, but they are determined to give you the least amount of room possible. Take that out again. Might be easier to get this in, at least the ball's not screwed in. Okay, that one's back in, and we'll just plug our backlight back in as well. Get this board sat in there like so, and hopefully that gives us enough room to get the power cable in. And we'll pop the memory card in again. Much easier said than done when the ball's flapping around in the breeze. Which way around are we going? This way. Okay, memory card in. Power currently off. Let's power it back up. Nothing. What have we done here? Hold on. We've got something jammed here, so I can't get the switch. Right. That's in the on position. It should work. There we are. Cool, you can really mess around with it if you put your hand in there. But so far, waiting. Bad card again. Right, I'm going to do some Googling, sorry, as off screen, and see if I can find out any information about this. Now, it just occurred to me that being such an old device, sticking a 16 gig memory card in there with some high quality photos on it, probably it can't read that. I have a feeling it might need something like, you know, 2 gig or something. The smallest I can find is an 8 gig card. So I'm going to try that in this memory card reader. I've just put one image on there that I just sort of copied off Google. So it should be a small sort of format size. And see if that makes any difference. But if that doesn't work, then I've got no real way of sort of testing it properly without actually acquiring a sort of, you know, a 1 or 2 gig card. So I don't really want to go and spend money if I don't have to. All right, screen's come unplugged again. All right, let's get the screen back in and try that card. Okay, I think we're back together, so let's plug that in and see if anything else happens this time. I'm suspecting no, but you never know. No, bad card again. So, I don't know. I'm thinking that maybe this just can't read memory cards above a certain size, and quite possibly even 8 gig is too big. And yeah, I've had a rummage around and I can't seem to find any card smaller than 8 gig. So yeah, annoyingly, normally you have tons of those little ones flying around, but I must have got rid of them at some point. So I think for now, this will have to be a possible revisit video, as I will need to sort of look into maybe ordering just sort of a 1 gig card, something like that. If I can get it off eBay for, you know, 99p or something, it might be worth doing. But I don't want to spend too much money on this device. I'm just curious to see if it will work or not. It could of course be that the I don't think this came from sort of a private seller. I think it was a company that buys up stuff that supposedly doesn't work. So I don't really have a backstory on it. It could just be that the seller brought this as a bulk lot, put in a sort of large size memory card into it. It didn't read anything, so just shipped it back off, sold it back off as faulty, whereas it could work with a smaller card. So I'll look into getting a smaller card, and yep, hopefully we will see this again in a new video. In the meantime, guys, keep washing your hands, stay at home, and stay safe. I'll see you soon for the next one. Cheers.